clock out, come home and drink away. To bash and burn the weekly plays. Douchey calls and sweaty balls, this is Scotch sporting.
So you were saying the Ticats are terrible.
The Ticats are awful. So me and my buddy were talking about this as we were watching them get absolutely fucking manhandled by Winnipeg. That this team is either a 10-8 team or an 8-10 team. And it's looking more like an 8-10 where you miss the playoffs and that's
They're not
it.
going to miss the playoffs at 8-10 in the Eastern Division.
I think they could. I think it's arguable that all three teams in the East are better than the Ticats. I think you can argue that.
You haven't played any of them yet, so you can't say that yet.
It's true.
You
It's
being
true.
Chris.
Right. I have not played any of the teams in the Eastern Division.
Also, Mark, you didn't. Why did you say you and not we?
Because he's saying that they suck as a team, and I'm like, no.
You're not as pessimistic as he is.
No, clearly.
So you're predicting a victory this week against Edmonton.
Yeah, and they're a playoff team because...
And they're a playoff team. Okay.
Yeah, because the East is weak.
Okay, so who are they better than?
Probably Ottawa?
Probably
Everyone.
Ottawa. Ottawa's only played Winnipeg
Mhm.
and lost both games.
Yeah.
And they were both pretty close. I don't know, man. I don't think they're necessarily worse than Ottawa.
Until you play the games, you don't know.
I agree. And don't forget we have
Isn't
that
it a game?
we have that 8-week period where we play two different teams. Over 8 weeks, we play Montreal and Toronto, and that's it.
What is
You wouldn't-
stupid schedule?
It's so dumb.
You win your division games, that's it for the Eastern. That's all you have to worry about. Just win
I
your
know.
division games.
I know.
Fine.
I'm not convinced that they're better than Montreal. I'm not convinced they're better than Toronto.
Hey, CFL commissioners who are listening, there's 9 teams.
Yep.
You don't need divisions. Just fucking...
They like
Put 'em all in a pot.
they think that the idea of East-West brings the nation together or something. I don't know. It's old-fashioned.
They should do a poll because doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it's old-fashioned.
Yeah, I do a poll of as a Canadian, what really brings you together with other Canadians, and I promise you, maybe Ann Person will say the CFL.
Well, I mean, listen, the CFL is Canadiana at its best.
It is, but I don't think like helping our rivalry or our unionship as Canadians
Mm-hmm. Well,
is CFL.
they definitely need to balance the schedule. Like somehow we're playing the Argos 4 times, and all 4 of those games are like separated by I think 2 weeks in the middle. So they play 2 back-to-back, 2 weeks in the middle, and then another 2 back-to-back. So 1, why are we playing the Argos 4 times? And 2, why are they all bunched up?
Yeah. How have we not played a division opponent 4 weeks into the season?
It's week 4, and we're still not playing an Eastern Division team.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. We played Sask, we played Calgary, we played Winnipeg, then we got Edmonton on Friday.
Now, ideally, what you want to do is you want to start your season playing against your division rivals and end against your division rivals.
Exactly. That is the ideal way to do it. You get division games, so everybody's excited right at the beginning of the season.
Exactly.
You put all the junk in the middle, and then when the playoff points matter, that's when you do the end of the season. Yeah. It's weird. This season is so weird. I think there was still a thought that there might be travel issues with COVID when they were making the
that
schedule.
was my only thought when they were kind of drafting the schedule. There had to have been something.
Yeah.
Some.
So go ahead.
No. You.
I was just gonna say there is interesting stuff happening in the CFL.
Go on.
Well, quarterback Nathan Rourke, who plays for the BC Lions, is Canadian, and he's 24 years old. And last week he set the record for passing yards in a game by a Canadian quarterback. The Lions are 2-0. They smashed Edmonton in their first game, and that's fine. Edmonton's the worst team in the league. And then they
Not according to you.
well, they're worst or second worst. And then they smashed Toronto last week. So this is very interesting that we have a legitimate Canadian quarterback in the CFL, like legit starter. Again, it's only 2 games, but he's looked good.
Who's the last
The last
quickly
good
name them? The last good Canadian quarterback,
Russ Jackson.
like in the league.
Yeah, Russ Jackson. And that's like the 70s, I think. So this is like unprecedented.
Yeah.
And
so Mark, go ahead.
And there's
Damn
talk,
it.
I'm sorry, and there's talk that there might be NFL interest in him.
Oh, so then he just ditch.
But the problem is quarterbacks don't have a good transition from CFL to NFL. 9 times out of 10, they go down there and end up on practice rosters.
Jeff Garcia.
Yes, there are exceptions.
Flutie.
There are exceptions.
Warren
There
But
are
for one of those, there's like
Warren
3 other
Moon.
quarterbacks that don't make it.
Right. Like, you know, when Henry Burris went to the US for a season and a half or something, you know, like they just go down there and, you know, it's not the NFL's all political, right? It's all, that's my guy. I drafted him from college. He's my guy, that kind of thing. The bringing them up from Canada, just like, look what happened to Bo when Bo was going to go to Minnesota, and they just wanted him to be a coach basically. And he's like, I want to fucking play. So, and I think Bo Levi Mitchell, maybe not this year, cause he looks pretty bad, but back then he was hands down the best quarterback in the league. And I would say he was better than the bottom 10 in the NFL.
Did Damon Allen ever try and crack the NFL?
He did. Yeah, he did. I think same thing happened. He just ended up.
Yeah.
Even with the famous brother.
Is he arguably the greatest Canadian quarter, like CFL, at least kind of the modern era?
It's between him and Calvillo as who would be the best. Yeah.
Did Calvillo ever try and do the NFL?
No, he never did.
Huh.
He just decided to stay up here and dominate.
And now he's still with Montreal.
He is quarterback coach.
So, Chris, your prediction for the Ticats was 8-10.
Well, I mean, like I said, they could either be 10-8 or 8-10. Neither would surprise me.
Mark, what is your prediction for the record?
I'm gonna go 9-9. How about that?
Oh, how about that?
Are they 0? No,
they're 0-3. Yeah, 0-3. They should have beat Calgary. Losing to Sask at Sask, sure. Losing to Winnipeg in Winnipeg, sure. But you had Calgary down 21 at the half, and you lose in overtime.
You had them down 27-10 going into the fourth quarter.
It's not good. It's not
good.
I
literally do nothing. You don't even need to try and score. You just like get your shit over quickly and then just hold them.
Yeah.
And you fucked it up. This is the earliest we've talked about sports, which is amazing ever. So welcome actually to Scotch Sporting. Due to work and baby sickness, he is happily passed out in his room now, though. No doc, but instead of a Wing It Wednesday, we do have our main topic.
Yes.
Instead of a Scotch Sporting leadoff, we will just do, does anyone have any other sports news at the beginning of our show? I will start with, does anyone have any sports news? The Stanley Cup is over now.
And dented.
And dented. Oh man, that's
the best fucking clip. Oh my god. It just you've seen the TikToks where they do the fucking all-star, where it's like somebody, and as it drops, they do the big hit. So Yeah, that I saw one with that.
Who's the guy? Oh fuck! Was it Ryan Smith or Smythe who's played over and over? I think he accidentally scored on his own goal. No, never mind. I don't remember it. Anyways, this is just a clip that is maybe
in the 80s.
Maybe.
Oilers, Calgary.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it on his birthday. On top of that, too.
It was his birthday and he scored on his own net. Oh, dude.
And that stopped Edmonton from winning 5 cups in a row.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Steve Smith own goal. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad.
So.
And anyway, this is just going to be one of those, that him denting the cup is going to be one of those things that will live
on forever. You know what else will live on forever?
Yeah.
Corey Perry losing 3 Stanley Cup finals in a row.
Dave pointed that out at the beginning of the run and said, like, if Corey Perry loses, he will have lost 3 in a row with 3 different teams.
I'm here for all of it. I love it. Fuck you,
he
Corey.
Was only
By the way,
second player ever to make it 3
Corey Perry. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit.
But he's opposite Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, who they were a legend with a team and then went to another team just to really prove they could do it again on their own.
Right.
Corey Perry is that, but losing.
Right.
Like, I don't want it to be just Dallas. I don't want you to blame the Dallas Stars for me losing a Stanley Cup.
Correct.
I don't like it's all me.
I can lose it again in Montreal, and then you know what? I'm going to go to the guys who just won it back to back. Can't possibly lose. Just kidding.
Any surprises with Colorado winning? I don't think so. I know I had them going all the way against Boston. That's fun.
I can't remember who I picked. I might have picked Colorado. I don't remember now.
I was only surprised that the goaltending held up for Colorado.
Yeah.
Because that was a lot of low-scoring games, and I didn't think Kemper was going to be able to match up with Vasilevsky, and he did, and that's why they won.
The Colorado is just that team that they had to have won this year. It's just been too many years of just scratching the surface and getting closer and closer. Like, they finally have to have won.
Really? Because we could spend the rest of the night talking about Sharks teams that were right there and didn't win. So
Scritching?
I mean, yeah, they were scritching at the door. So we could talk about that all night, and I can explain to you what it's like to be a fan of a team like that. I mean, we could talk about the Tiger Cats. It's the same fucking thing. They've been to 4 Grey Cups in the last 8 years, and
eventually they have to win.
Do they? Because it doesn't feel like they do.
I mean, look at the Bills, right? 4 straight
Bills
years.
went 4 in a row, lost them all, and then lose a fucking coin toss, and you're out of the playoffs.
Scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think anything? So I know we talked about this, but with the sexual assault lawsuits against Hockey Canada, apparently a butt ton of their sponsors have pulled out, and if there are any sponsors that haven't pulled out, please consider doing that.
They're pulling out, yeah, because Tim Hortons pulled out, right? So
yeah. Do you? So Cale Makar, I want to call him Cole Makar because that's an actual name. Was on that team.
Yeah.
And he was specifically named as not being named.
Right.
Now that everything's over and he's won the Conn Smythe, and we don't have to worry about bad press getting in the way of Colorado winning the Stanley Cup championship, will anything come out that he is actually one of the players or is more involved?
No, I think
they will find more fall guys before they even touch him.
Yeah, he's smart. Yeah.
Is he smart? Is he smart and good enough?
Fall guys lined up.
Is he smart and good enough to be protected like that?
Yeah, he listened to Ray Lewis.
But Ray Lewis is that good, right? Like, we talked about this.
Yes.
And we'll go there.
And this is the same situation. It is the exact same situation.
Murder.
Well, I mean, it's not murder, right? But
no. Oh, men.
No. Yeah.
Men. Straight white men saying that
white?
Murder is not you. You didn't say anything.
I said it.
So did Dave, who said that murder is obviously worse than sexual assault. Probably it is in most cases.
They're both really bad.
They're both horrific, and sometimes
they're the two. They're the two worst. They're number one and number two. They're number one and number two, and they're very close together.
Sometimes they go
and exactly.
I'm just saying, Chris, if I were you, I would stop talking on this topic.
No. I'm gonna start having more spicy hot takes.
Why?
I'm gonna turn into Jordan Peterson over here.
Have we? Oh my god! Is there any interview where he doesn't sound like a dipshit, or am I just getting those feeds?
No, he's a dipshit.
But like he doesn't sound smart.
No, but the incels think he's smart, so they listen.
Have we recorded since our Roe v. Wade overturning? I don't think we did, because that was just on Friday.
Yeah.
We got sneak of it like a month ago, right?
Do we want to discuss it? How
disappointing again, you guys shouldn't discuss it.
Well,
no,
right.
But yeah, I mean, you do. You guys, I don't want to dismiss male opinions on this, because I think it is important. You guys are allies, but it's insane. And I will do one quick baby story that, like, as Canadians, it's very easy to be smug. I say, like, it's insane, and you know, like, please come, we'll be hosts, we'll help you, help you out however, but this is crazy, it'll never happen here. That's what I said about the formula shortage.
Right.
And I've had to switch formulas, and now we're on this new one, and I've been to 3 or 4 shoppers, and they're out.
Mm-hmm.
Any brand.
The supply chain shortage is different than
I'm just
political
saying
agendas.
The smugness of like,
right?
It won't happen here because their infrastructure is fucked up.
Republicans who are pro-life did vote against a $28 million package that was supposed to help fix the formula shortage in the States. So,
yeah,
it is political.
They only care about the babies before they're born.
Yeah. After that,
fuck you.
Sucks to be you.
Fuck you.
Why do you think that is? I just don't get it. I need someone to explain to me.
So, my understanding is that it's the definition of what an abortion is to the right-wing people is that an abortion is murder.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, like, to them it's murder, and there's no talking them down from that.
Well, and I need people to learn the science around it, and as a woman,
you're gonna ask these fucking Bible thumpers to learn about science?
It's not like there's a teeny tiny baby screaming as you drag it out and slit its throat. Like, that's not what happens. It's
right.
A cluster of cells. You can take a pill at home now.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 types of abortions you can have. One, the kind of probably the old school one that we're thinking about. As I do the gestures, please, these are...
And make sure you're watching YouTube, guys. These are very unintentional. If there's one episode to go back and find on YouTube, this is the one.
Me doing this as I talked about abortions completely subconsciously, but very accurately. Like this what we think of, and it's like medical and it's quick and instruments inside you and all that shit. But then there's one where you literally, they give you a pill and you go home and you take the pill.
It's basically a miscarriage pill.
It's a forced miscarriage. That's exactly what it is. And that's why it's like, this one is better because you can, people say it's better because you can go home, you can be comfortable, you can do what you need to do, but it might not totally work. Like, not gory detail, there might be still stuff left inside you, so you basically have to then go anyways.
Right.
But it's not like there is this miniature itty bitty tiny baby, the way we think of a baby, clinging to the inside of your uterus, screaming as you drag it out. And I feel that's what they think it is.
Right. I don't understand the position. But I'll tell you this. We had CNN on the other night when we were eating dinner. And they had the Ohio, I believe he was the congressman for Ohio he's a Republican. And so she was asking him about, because Ohio immediately put through their
the law is
heartbeat. So they have a heartbeat law.
Ohio, and this is the terrifying part, Ohio also, there are 0 exceptions, including lethal abnormalities or fatal
Right.
abnormalities.
Right.
So you could get told your baby literally
Will
doesn't
kill
have
you.
a brain.
Oh, right. Yeah. And no,
and
sorry.
like it will die within seconds of being born.
Yeah.
Nope. Carry it to term and birth it.
So you can bury it immediately. That
Yeah.
sounds fun. But yeah, they put through what, a 6 week, I think it's 6 weeks is their, and so the interviewer, I can't remember who was doing it. Anyways, she says to him, she goes, well, like, what about a rape victim who doesn't doesn't realize that they're pregnant? And he goes, well, he's like, well, it's hard to believe that a rape victim doesn't know they were raped for 2 months. And it's like, do you not understand the question? Because she wasn't asking about if she knew whether she was raped or not. It's asking if she knew if she was fucking pregnant, you dumbass. Like, 6 weeks, that's not enough.
So my assumption is, the implication is, you are in complete sound mind after you've been raped.
Right.
And are able to go to a pharmacy and request Plan B.
Right.
Which I just learned, by the way, any ladies listening, there is a weight restriction to Plan B. That, like, not restriction, but like it stops working as effectively the bigger you get. And I believe that weight is something not super high, like 175.
Really?
And it's like it kind of gets less and less effective the bigger you get, because it's something about absorbing in the body or some shit like that. But I just learned that.
2 pills? Not like, it's not like Tylenol.
8 pills, please. No, I don't know if it works. If it works quite like that. We're going to do a biology podcast for anyone listening who might be interested in learning more about how women work in general. I'm happy to host. I can field questions from any of you guys, any of our listeners. But let me know if you have any questions about lady parts. It is 2 different holes. I really can't stress that enough. I feel like we should start with that. Will be lesson 1. And this is why you shouldn't have minions.
Right. That's right.
On what, Mark, you and I think follow a lot of the same people on Twitter. I don't know if you saw the governor of South Dakota, that Kristi Noem Looney Tunes.
No.
Also said something very similar yesterday, I think on Meet the Press or something. It wasn't Fox, and it was, well, what about victims of rape? She avoided the question. Well, what about victims of rape? No exceptions. And she said, correct, there's no exceptions because we're working to build stronger families.
What does that mean?
So
what
if you
does
get
that
raped,
mean?
So what if daddy molests daughter?
That's
stronger families?
Stronger families.
Stronger together.
Oh my God.
Oh, dear
and then it's something about, like, so what are you then going to do to help support the victims of rape and things like that? But then she said it was on, I'm no joke, please look up the clip, that we have a website that we launched that helps with resources.
Wow.
Wasn't that Ivanka Trump's thing a couple years ago, when she was like, we're going to help you get jobs, and it was just a website about, like, try going into a trade.
Yeah, thanks.
How did we get there from the Stanley Cup? Did we go Cole McCarr? How did we get there? How did we get there, guys?
And we talked about murder and raping.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And then speaking of rape, as it always is. And okay,
man, we got lots of rapes to talk about today.
24. Let me just see super quick. James Harden's opted out of his signing bonus. He's expected Harden to decline options, return on a contract to bolster roster. So he is outie.
Where's he going?
Not New Jersey or Brooklyn, that's for sure.
Mark, are you really excited about the signing of Sergio Romo? Is it just me?
I mean, I would have been happier if it was like maybe 5 or even 10 years ago. I mean, the spirit's still there. The beard's still there, but he's super freaking scrawny. I don't know if you saw him pitching in the bullpen. It just blew my mind.
I love him, and I'm really excited for that attitude and swag to be on the Blue Jays. It's got to be a beard thing, eh?
It is.
I think if it boils down to it with me, it's something about
so
beard.
skinny. It looks weird with the beard.
Yeah, he came running out, and but in the Alec Manoah t-shirt, which was cute. I thought that was quite sweet. Any other sports news before we get into our deep dive, gentlemen?
Hamilton lost in the Memorial Cup final today. 6-3.
Oh, last I saw was 4-1. So
yeah,
that's too bad.
Yeah.
Other than that, Freddie Freeman. I don't know if you guys heard.
Sort of Canadian Freddie Freeman
fired his agent this past weekend because he found out that the Braves actually did offer him a final offer.
Yeah.
That he was not made aware of. And had he known, he would have taken it because he didn't want to leave Atlanta.
What?
Yeah.
So what was the difference in the offer, sorry?
The reported offer that was the final offer was 5 years, $140 million. But regardless, to go back to his team for that much money, I think he would have taken it.
Yeah, to stay with the same people.
Firing his representation means he would have taken that deal.
Yeah. Because he did not want to leave.
No.
And great news that I just read is Ron McClain has lost one of his television shows.
Oh.
Hometown Hockey is gone.
Oh, that's not a thing anymore? They're not just giving it to someone else?
No, Ron McClain loses major shows. Hometown Hockey is canceled.
I thought that was a Hockey in Canada thing.
Yeah, no, gone. Producing live hockey from a regular NHL city is already an extremely expensive endeavor. Bringing that show on the road only adds to that cost. In the era of cord cutting, expect cost cutting. This is just a start. I hope that means Ron McClain will also get fired.
I don't think so.
Damn it, he's 62. Get the fuck off my screen.
You old bastard.
You old fuck. Well, let's get into our Deshaun, who I was very late with my Deshaun what?
Yeah.
So I'm really sorry I didn't think of that and send it earlier.
But
I think Deshaun still is pretty great. Because hopefully it's Deshaun forever. Like, is he... So the NFL has recommended he gets suspended for a year.
And this is indefinitely with the minimum of a year. And pending, and wasn't it pending that he doesn't do anything for 6 months?
Yeah, don't rape.
please
for
don't.
Hump tables or
for 6 months, try no hump table.
No more wet spots on the tables.
Ew, that was a new one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so was it someone who sued him, or just something came out that he apparently humped a massage table and left a wet spot?
And was it a wet spot or was it a sticky spot?
Well, that's what I like. Isn't that just jizz then?
Right.
wet and sticky.
Right.
Yeah, like is that because they just didn't want to say sticky? Is the implication that he jizzed, or
I think that's the implication. I mean,
it's not like he sweated after a
he
workout.
could have been
or whatever.
really sweaty.
in specifically the crotch area?
Yeah.
Really,
Listen,
really
if it's a hot day, we've all had a case of the swampy area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's into the golden showers. Maybe that's the
But
way.
he just peed. It could be pee. So I have a challenge and a question for anyone listening to prove Chris right. When you work out, or if it's a really hot day, I just need you to take a sheet and press it against your genitals.
If it's clear,
it's
your window to weight gain.
I don't think your science on this is accurate, but who am I to judge?
I mean, yeah. Depends
so
on, like, it didn't say puddle, it just said wet spot.
It did say wet spot, but that just, again, is that their way of not saying sticky spot?
I mean, yes, probably, but We could,
Otherwise, I would like to know what a wet spot is.
we could give the
Or
guy
a
the
dude.
benefit of the doubt, can't we?
In this situation,
Doesn't he deserve the benefit of the doubt? Innocent
whether,
until proven guilty.
so the benefit of the doubt in this situation is, did he pee, jizz, or sweat?
Right. Could be any of the three, or it could be all three.
Could be all three all at once. So 1 year recommends suspension by the NFL. It is he's now in a hearing with whom? The PA? The NFL PA?
I don't know. It's but yeah, they're discussing because I would imagine the PA would be involved. They would have to be.
He
I have an idea, and I was
Oh, this is auto playing. This is irritating. So sorry. So he's in a hearing with the Cleveland Browns ended Wednesday. Is expected to continue on Thursday. That will mark the third day Watson has appeared in front of an independent arbiter who is overseeing the case.
Yeah.
So I guess the NFL has ruled something, and he.
Well, the NFL has said this is the recommendation. Now, my understanding is this arbitrator will decide.
Okay, so there is no timeline for Robinson, who is jointly appointed by the league and the Players Association to make her decision once the hearing ends. Watson has been present for the hearing, which is taking place in Delaware. That's too bad. Once it does, Robinson can either request briefs from both sides, or either side can agree to file them, which must be done within 3 days. The league is reportedly pushing for suspension of at least a full year. Watson is sure to appeal the ruling should Robinson impose a year-long suspension.
Right.
So, who sent that article earlier about the money implication behind this?
That was
That
me.
was Father. Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
So this ruling could void that contract?
No, that's what the contract said, is that the ruling. So none of this can affect his contract because it was all happening before. So it's written in there that anything except this will void out his bonuses or his contract altogether. But anything related to these cases is already, it's good. So
anything new
comes out. Anything new comes
like
out.
The 25th accuser?
No, because I think that this is all still considered the same thing, because that's why when it went to from 22 to 24 to 26, this didn't affect it. So it won't be until he, he has to rape someone a different way. So
he has really carte blanche on sexually assaulting massage therapists.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, unless someone comes out and said he did it to me yesterday, because that would probably do it. I would think it would have to have been within that 17-month period or whatever it is. Within that 17-month period, all of that is blanketly, hey, that's fine. Cleveland Browns, we love you. You're cool. But anything else, sorry.
So the argument being, you as Cleveland Brown. So Chris, you're Chris Cleveland Brown.
Yeah, and I love Deshaun Watson and his rapes, but only these rapes.
You knew about this when you signed him.
Yes.
So knowing this, you guaranteed him
the most money ever guaranteed to anybody ever.
How much is it? 320?
230.
230. That's fun than what my brain did. So I just want to clear that he raped people and you weren't giving him 230. Okay,
yeah, fine.
Okay. Okay. So that's what happened?
Yeah, pretty much. Where they're like, fine. Yeah, you've disclosed all this. That's fine. We just want you on our team. We don't care. Fuck you,
anyone
Baker.
Else? Now Mark is Deshaun Watson, and he's coming to you saying, it was actually 20. And then he's coming in the next day going, shit, sorry, it's 22.
And I say, was it all in that 17-month time period?
Mark, you say? Yeah.
All good, baby.
Yeah, cool.
All good.
But if it gets like Mark's not coming to you a couple of weeks later, you're up to like 42.
Yeah.
Sexual assaults.
17-month period. Already disclosed 17-month period. Whatever. Here's your money.
Mark's nodding.
Yeah, here's money. Here's money. It's fine. It's fine. Throw the football.
That's why, like the NFLPA, this arbitration never voided, because arguably they knew about this, gave them money anyways.
Yep.
So I feel like we say this every week. What do we think is going to happen?
He is going to be suspended for a year.
We said it took the NFL to step in and do it, and
Yeah.
you're doing it.
Yeah. I can't see a scenario where this doesn't last a year.
I don't know what the other side is saying. Like, what is Deshaun Watson's side saying other than like, man, there's no criminal case? Like, that has to be their only argument.
Yeah, but I mean, again, this is still, and I mean, yeah, they can definitely say that, but the fact of the matter is, no matter what, when you settle, you've settled.
Yeah, but settling is different from being proven guilty.
Right, but it never looks good. It never looks good. Michael Jackson settled with those kids. You know what I mean? Like, it never.
Are you defending Michael Jackson?
What's that?
Are you defending Michael Jackson?
I'm
right
saying
now?
that we'll never know the truth, and
I
the fact that he
I-
settled makes him look bad. Whether he did it or
Yeah.
not, it makes him look bad.
Look, Kobe settled with one woman.
Kobe settled as well, made him look bad. I mean, although it went away, like that shit went away.
Well, when you start winning, and
It's true.
scoring basketball.
Yeah,
It's true.
I'm pretty sure.
But
I
settling
think
makes
with
you
Kobe
look
Bryant,
bad.
like,
But
I
one
think
is a lot less different than 20
Yeah.
plus. is
and
what
I
I'm
think with Kobe Bryant, it did happen. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
But I think the woman just wanted some kind of restitution, and I think when he paid her, she was like, "Thank you.
Yep.
We have now like
Good enough. Good enough, and we'll leave it there.
Because obviously, what is the point of a criminal conviction? Is it to show restitution? Is it rehabilitation? So in cases of like sexual assault or things like that,
Yeah.
if the victim is cool with the result,
Yeah.
Mhm.
didn't go to trial, you gave me a bunch of money. If I'm happy, this is the way we even Stevens. Great. But 20, I feel with Deshaun Watson, it's that clip from The Simpsons with from the softball episode when Mr. Burns is like 3 misfortunes. That's terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, but 9 misfortunes. I feel like two accusations of sexual assault against a massage therapist. They're just money grubbers. 10, oh, maybe it's they saw their chance at fame, but 26 sexual assault
Yeah,
allegations.
that's a lot.
What are the odds?
It's a pattern.
So both of you think he's gone for the year?
I don't see a way that he isn't gone for the year.
Whatever the NFL's recommending.
Now-
It's going to be at least a year.
Now they will obviously appeal it. I don't know how long the appeal process will take. Right? Like, because if the appeal process is quick, then but what if the appeal doesn't start until September? Possibility that he plays a game or two.
But they're appealing to the NFL who's recommending this, so it's
Yeah.
cut and dry, is it not?
Yeah, but I mean, they still have the right to appeal.
And just force, I was going to say just force himself on the team, but.
Ooh, poor choice of words.
So who are the Cleveland Browns left with? Because Mark sent me something on Instagram, which I posted on the Scotch Sporting account of like Cleveland coming into Baker Mayfield and being like, "You ready?"
Like, no.
No,
I
I've
said-
never done that.
I saw a good one, and it was the Cleveland Browns. It was like a text message thing, and it was from the Cleveland Browns. It says, "We're short staffed," and he's like, and then the response is like, "That's crazy. Good luck though."
We're short staffed. Can you come in?
Yeah.
How do you think Baker Mayfield's feeling right now? And where will he land?
I think there's talks of, what was it, the Falcons and... Oh, there's someone else. There's 2 teams apparently that was rumored. Panthers, that's who it was.
Now, is this a trade, or are they gonna just have to let him go?
It would have to be a trade, right? Because I think,
Well, he is under contract, but
yeah.
I mean, he's made it pretty clear that he's not going to play for them.
And to be fair, I don't know if up until now, when they're faced with potentially legitimately losing Deshaun Watson forever, I think they were like, yeah, you can go.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop. We're going to pursue a trade for you. Don't worry about it.
It's insane.
So I was looking up what teams were interested in Deshaun Watson. with the Miami Dolphins, the Carolina Panthers, the Denver Broncos, and the Philadelphia Eagles as of last year, the teams that were interested in him.
Right. God,
Do
thank
you
God
think
he
this
didn't go
would
to
have played
Denver.
out any differently if he wasn't with Cleveland?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mark's making a face. If this was like,
If he ends up in not a trash town like Cleveland that destroys quarterbacks,
or just so fucking desperate for attention, like,
right? I don't think so. I would like to believe that the NFL at least has that little bit of integrity that this would have.
well, it wouldn't be the NFL in this instance, right? It would have been those particular sort of like the Miami Dolphins ownership.
Oh,
or
you
the
mean
Panthers
like
ownership.
Giving them all the money and all this shit, or do you
Or
mean?
not. So the Browns, no, like giving them all the money, and then more and more coming out, and the Browns have just been like, I didn't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
This is our guy. We see, he's going to play until it's. Do you think maybe by the 21st lawsuit, the Denver Broncos would have been like, you need to go now?
No, I think any team that made the trade and did the contract shit, they're all in on him. So if you went that far, there's no reason.
Yeah, are the Browns just pot committed?
Yeah. You're
with that $230 million
$230 million. It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
You have to pay them.
But it's such a. Oh, there has to be a point, and maybe they've reached it, where you realize this money is gone.
Yeah.
It's got like the PR hit we are going to take from standing by this dude is now just adding to the money that's gone.
Like, I don't know how you
Did
can
they
be.
not hit this point already?
I don't know how you can be a Cleveland Browns fan at this point. Like your team is just saying we don't give a shit. We don't give a shit about any of that. All we care about is winning, and we don't even win. That's the funny thing. All we care about is winning, and we have a history of not winning. At least if you're going to be a garbage team, be morally right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take the right side of history on this.
Oh, there's a video that I do not want to watch right now, but I think it is female Cleveland Browns fans defending him.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Well, I mean, those fucking massage therapists, they shouldn't have been dressed like that.
Yeah.
They were too slutty.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on, it might be opposite. Back in March 2019, majority of all majorities, there are a few, majority of all female Browns fans group are against Deshaun Watson coming to Cleveland.
Oh, that's good.
That's good, I guess. 6,200 women in the group, and 95% of them were against it.
Well, okay, that makes sense.
This was only when it was 22, though.
Right.
So maybe we flipped some of them with 24, 25, 26.
I doubt it.
How do the Browns bounce back from this? And who's their quarterback? Are they going to go with Jacoby Brissett?
I'm gonna have to, right?
I mean, that's what that.
Yeah.
I think was gonna go with.
Popped in. Hey, oh, we're screwed. How long will this? That's what I mean. Like, how long until this is not the first thing you think of when you think of the Cleveland Browns, as an NFL fan? They've just, and that's what I mean about, like, at some point they had to have realized this $230 million was sunk.
Right.
The more they keep kind of doing nothing, standing by their guy, the more they are tanking the legacy, which means ticket sales, which means, like, basically we're just racking up more and more and more.
Yeah, and yeah, this is all losses on the bottom line.
When do they come back from this? Or are we, knowing the state of America right now, are we idiots in thinking they will not just sell out every single fucking game anyways?
Oh God, they're gonna sell it every game. Anyways.
I don't know.
Or Phil, I don't know what the Browns stadium record is for ticket sales. Chris, you can get on that from last year. Will they within a certain percentage, let's say 20%, maintain what they did last year?
Yes. 20%? Yes. Let's see.
What percentage ticket sales do we think they'll lose then? If we think it's going to be more than 20%.
I don't think they're going to lose any. I think it's
No.
going to be on par. It's going to be on par or more.
So I have told this story on the podcast before, but it must have been years and years ago. I was in Nashville for work. I decided to take myself to a Predators game, which if you are ever in Nashville is please skip all of the honky tonk on Broadway and take yourself to a Predators game. It is a fucking blast because it's that drunk ass honky tonk, but now in a stadium.
Right.
So driving home, I got picked up by an Uber driver. It was a woman, which I was like, oh, this is cool. It's usually a dude. So we were chit-chatting and we drove past the stadium and she mentioned her day job and mentioned, oh, we get corporate tickets all the time, but we never use them and we don't go anymore because of the fucking kneelers.
Oh,
And
wow.
so this is someone who had season tickets through her work
Wow.
and stopped going because I believe it was Marcus Mariota,
Yeah.
knelt during the anthem.
Wow.
Are any of those types of people on the opposite side not gonna go as long as Deshaun Watson is on the team? So so I do have two questions then.
Yeah.
If somehow Deshaun Watson does not get suspended or comes back, does him playing affect ticket sales? And does this whole situation in general affect ticket sales?
I mean, I'm trying to think of the Venn diagram of Cleveland Browns fans and
people that give a shit about sexual assault.
people that give a shit about sexual assault, because I have a feeling
I feel none of those are.
I have a
season
feeling
ticket
that they're two separate circles.
Yeah.
There's
Do you
not
think-
a
do you think
huge
all of the
overlap.
people in the Cleveland Brown circle are like, fuck, who hasn't gotten hard around a masseuse?
I whip my dick out all the time in front of them.
What do you wear, a fucking jock strap? So are we thinking those guys make up an entire circle?
I mean, it's like I said. So I'm looking at the attendance. So 2021, their average attendance was 67,431.
How many of those are season ticket holders? That's what I want to try and figure out.
I don't know if it says that. I don't think that even really matters.
No.
But like, so 2020 obviously was way down. 2020 or 2019 was the exact same number, 67,431. They were down in 2018, 65,000, 2017, 63,000. So 64,000 the year before that. So they've been around 71,000. What happened in 2013? Is that when Money Manziel was there? Would that have been 2013, or was he before that?
Or is that the year after they finally made the playoffs and like, hey, we
Maybe.
got a good team.
Maybe. So, but anyways, this number, when we look back at the 2022, average attendance for the Cleveland Browns, this number will be either the same or very, very close.
I agree.
So as of February, oh, here we go. I don't know if this makes it better or worse. When did Deshaun Watson sign? After it was before February, right? Of this year?
No clue.
Deshaun
Chris, if you can
Watson
get on that.
to the Browns.
This article is from February 23rd. The Cleveland Browns season ticket holders are going to have to spend a little more to cheer on their team this year. The football team recently announced pricing changes, saying this is only the fifth time they've raised the prices because whatever, I don't know, trying to find what the percentage is, but they sell out their season ticket capacity. So they raised the prices because they expected to sell out in 2022.
March 18th. March 18th, Watson and the Texans. Yeah.
So can you imagine upping, being like, yeah, I'll resign as a season ticket holder? Fuck.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, you can still get out of it, I'm pretty sure.
The Browns pointed out that the last 3 years they've sold out their season ticket capacity and have a wait list of more than 7,500 for the upcoming season. Season tickets start at $55, which the team says is a $5 increase. Blah, 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 blah.
55?
Probably for one ticket.
Yeah. But still, 55 per. That's pretty reasonable.
That's quite reasonable. Maybe that's why they're fans.
You guys want to go get season tickets for the Cleveland Browns?
And never go.
If I had money to throw away like that, I wouldn't be buying season ticket holders for the Cleveland Browns, first of all. But
no. I told you that I would, if I had extra money, I would buy Argos season tickets. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
And I just don't give them the money, though. I don't get that. It's like when you asked if I should buy the Argos jersey.
Mm-hmm.
We're still giving them money, though.
Right, but no. Oh, but it's like I don't want the Argos to go away. Right?
Oh.
Like, so it's not about, and again, it's also not about like, oh, I need to support them. It's just like, it's one more home game for sure, and usually two, or at least every other year it's 2 home games. And if I got nothing going on a Thursday or Friday night, go watch some CFL football. I'll show up in my Ticats gear.
And then you root against the Argos.
Right.
But it's a Simpsons thing. Why did they pay a ticket just to boo us?
Second best band in the world.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this, and I just can't get around this mentally. The Cleveland Browns weren't great last year.
No.
And they've lost some, I think 8 and 9. They lost some key pieces. Deshaun Watson is not, he's good, let's say, subjectively. He's good, objectively. He's not winning you a Super Bowl good when your team is still not very good.
We've talked about this, how he's not the guy. Like, he's not the guy.
But they have the offensive line, they have the running backs, and they got a new wide receiver in Amari Cooper. Let's not forget.
So do you think, Mark, if Deshaun Watson plays for them, like, where do you see their record? Let's just say none of this shit happens. He signs as their quarterback. Everything's fine. What's their record?
Probably 9, 8, 10, and 7, because they're in one of the tough.
They're in the
Bengals, Ravens.
Steelers, right?
Steelers are going to be bad this year.
Yeah, they have the quarterback.
Say the Steelers are going to be bad every year, and then the Steelers end up being pretty okay.
The Steelers had Ben Roethlisberger. They don't have Ben Roethlisberger anymore.
Speaking of greatest monster. How did that go? Did he just pay before anything really?
I think so.
We don't care about that stuff back then.
It genuinely was before the Me Too movement. And because I forget how it came up, but my parents either didn't remember or didn't know about Brett Favre's penis scandal.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, that was at a time where we laughed at that.
Yeah,
and
it was look, Brett sending his dick to
you silly sausage. What a goof. Like, what a time that was, where it was like a joke rather than a no, that's not cool that he sent that to a female, I think, like, reporter trying to do her job.
Was it a reporter? I thought it was one of the fucking...
A waitress?
Masseuse. Wasn't it another masseuse?
No, I thought it was one of the cheerleaders.
Penis. Hold on. I'm typing in Brett Favre penis.
I thought it was a physical trainer of some sort.
Let me... Oh, she was a former Miss something. I think she was just a model. She joined. Oh, sideline reporter.
Oh,
there you go.
There you go.
She was just very hot. But again, like, this is an article on Deadspin from 2010.
Right.
And this is how they worded it. For those who don't know or forget, Jen Sturger is formerly buxom Florida State cowgirl who gained internet notoriety for being a buxom Florida State cowgirl who parlayed that popularity into a full-time career. She did Maxim shoots, Playboy shoots. She wrote a Confession of a Cowgirl column. In 2008, she joined the Jets as an in-house sideline reporter. And it was during that fateful time that her and Mr. Favre's paths began to cross, sort of. Like, that's just such a shitty, misogynistic way of writing that story that it's like, wow, that's not how that would be framed these days.
Right.
You wouldn't start with
Like you're basically saying she is not qualified for this job at all, but she has it.
She only got it because she's hot and her paths crossed and she has nice titties. So what do you think is going to happen?
She is hot. I agree with all of those things.
Well, they don't win that award for not being hot.
I'm looking for penis pictures.
What you working with there, Brett? How come she never released it to the public?
You know it's out there. I've seen it.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to find it. It's a shitty cell phone picture from here.
Oh.
And I feel like he's holding it.
Yeah.
Like he's holding his peen in one hand or he's sitting and it's definitely against something fleshy. I'm clicking on something on Reddit. This is a great pic of Brett Favre's dick, so I'll let you know if my computer explodes in a minute.
You have all the viruses.
Well, I still have that fucking browser hijacker I can't get, so it's not like it can get worse. There it is.
Get worse.
Whose penises are these? This is all Brett Favre?
Damn.
Well, it's wearing a little hat.
The penis is wearing a hat?
Yeah.
Well, you never put a little hat on your penis?
It looks like it's wearing like a German Panzer hat.
Not a football helmet?
That would make sense.
Logo? Yeah.
That would make sense.
I'll send it to you guys and say not safe for work just in case Tyler is at work and clicks on it. The internet says this is all his peen. It could be anybody. Not safe for work.
All right. Hey, we have more rapey rape sports news.
Yes. How is there more?
Someone else?
So, you guys have heard about the Vince McMahon thing?
Oh, yeah.
So, apparently, Vince raped the first female ref for the WWE. This is according to her. And that he offered her $500,000 to shut up about it. And this would have been in the is that right? In the 80s?
Probably. This is what he left of it because he left and
he has left. Now he's left as the CEO, but still in charge of the creative direction. So he's still like in the room, but he's just not the CEO. And then Stephanie was leaving. Like she was out and they said, no, you got to come back and run the company while all this is going down. So
sorry, Stephanie, his daughter. Is it that his daughter?
Yes, Stephanie McMahon. I mean, like, listen, I used to be in on the wrestling, like in the late 90s. That Attitude Era was like, I was the perfect age. I was in my late teens.
It was The Rock. Like we all knew, do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Right, and
Austin 316.
Yeah, and the fucking
Generation X.
Yeah, the Road Dogg and
the Big Show.
The Big Show.
I didn't watch, but I know all these guys.
It was a magical time for wrestling. Like they were trying crazy shit, and it was awesome. And then they ran out of ideas and started just doing the same shit over and over again. But I fucking loved The Rock from the day he showed up.
Yeah.
And when he turned heel, I loved him even more. And I mean, I'm not the only one because the crowd fucking loved it too, right? But like his heel turn. Yeah, his heel turn was what made him. So it turned him from being like, The Rock, blah, blah, blah. But all the good shit that The Rock did, like all that, it doesn't matter. All of that came from him turning heel. Yeah. Him turning heel gave him the extra level of cockiness that took him from being like, oh, he's, I kind of like him. But that heel turn really fucking solidified him. But they couldn't keep him heel because everybody loved him.
Huh. So he went back to being good?
Yeah, because he had the corporate elbow instead of the people's elbow. And yeah, it was, oh my God, it was the best. The best. I look back on that and think about how much fucking brain power I spent. You know what I mean? It's like when we watched Game of Thrones and I think of how much brain energy I put into Game of Thrones. And it's the same.
I was never a fan of wrestling, but I never would make fun of people for being into it, being fake or whatever, because it's like, who cares? We all watch TV. It's a
Right.
soap opera. It's fun.
Like, so I have one buddy who's super into wrestling, and he has been forever. And so I would always just say to him, wrestling's fucking fake. He's like, so is Game of Thrones. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
Allow you randomly says, hey, Jared, you know it's fake, right?
Yeah. Oh, but his favorite thing now is sending me like crazy clips of like shit that's going on in wrestling. Like, he sent me one is this dude on on 2 folding chairs, and they like power bombed him through and he gets like his neck on the one chair, and the chair doesn't bend or anything. And I'm like, did that dude die? And he's like, no, but he got hurt really fucking bad. And then he sent me another one today of a guy jumping off this like giant fucking scaffolding into a pool of literal shit. Like, it was a pool of raw sewage. It was disgusting. I'm like, why are you sending me this stuff?
But the athleticism behind wrestling is
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Like, that's it, because it's
incredible.
the outcomes are predetermined, and it's a show that they're putting on. But what they're doing to their bodies is real.
Mhm.
Like, they're not absorbing punches, but those falls hurt.
Gentlemen, we talked mostly about sports and some abortion stuff.
I can't believe it.
Any other sports news you want to talk about before we wrap up this lovely evening? If not, please head on over to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that fun stuff. Follow Mark Bunn on Instagram. I need to get back to reposting your amazing bets, but sometimes I get to them too late. You know, baby, and all that fun stuff. But follow Mark Bunn. Mark, what is your Instagram handle?
The Mark Bunn.
The Mark Bunn, MarkBun, for all of your gambling needs. You will get free plays if you want more. You got to pay for them. But at the end of the evenings, Mark will often post the results of his spreadsheets and the results of the bets, and he is usually in the green. Obviously, it ebbs and flows, but I think your monthly totals have been consistently in green. So follow at the Mark Bunn. Ride it out with him. Listen to him. Don't fade him. That's people used to.
I don't know what that means.
That means
Like,
against me.
My only tip for following Mark for your free plays, if you pay to get more, is please do them all. Don't pick and choose sometimes, because you might get a loss, and then don't get frustrated, because if you did them all, you would have won.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that one loss would have lost. So I learned that with Mark. I did that with horse racing when stupid of before Ontario messed with it. Following a tipster that you bet the tips. If you're gonna bet that day, bet that day. If you want to pick and choose, don't bet that day. Right? Because Mark might post a Blue Jays money line, Indians over, Twins under, and Yankees. Be like, I really like the Yankees. Pick them. They lose. Don't get mad at Mark.
That's right.
Because there's other 3-1, and he would have been in the black. So that is my advice. Please follow us, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that fun stuff. If you want gestures of how babies are born, please continue to follow us. Otherwise, thanks for listening, everybody. Chris.